Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about Ethereum. Ethereum is a cryptocurrency. It has gotten a ton of publicity over the last couple months. It has been on a rampage. It has gone up tremendously, and I'm often very wary of trying to convince people to buy things other than Bitcoin that are cryptocurrencies, because I think Bitcoin has firmly established itself as like a part of the financial system forever, a superior form of money than the dollar, because it's designed in a way that will always maintain its value through time. And so I don't really want people to dive headfirst into other cryptocurrencies, because understanding Bitcoin to me is the real true innovation. But today I want to make like a Ethereum for Dummies explanation of like what it is and why it's important. So if you are watching this on a phone, it's probably an iPhone or it's an Android phone. The Android phone probably has the Google Play Store. The Apple iPhone has the App Store. And so what you have on these stores are all these different types of applications. One of them is YouTube. One of them is Facebook. You have social media stuff. You might have finance stuff like your bank account. Venmo, payment applications might exist on there. There might be video games on there. There might be all these different applications that run on Apple's network or on Google Play Store's network. Ethereum, there's what's called the Ethereum virtual machine, which is kind of like their store of people can build applications on it, just like how you can build applications on Apple and on the Google Play Store. Except there's one gigantic difference between the Ethereum virtual machine and these ones, is that the apps that are built on Ethereum are unstoppable. So if I were to upload an app to the Apple App Store, and let's say I went against their terms and conditions, I could get shut down. Or they could censor a customer, or they could shut down the app because they don't like it. Or if I don't want to pay the 30% fee to have my app run on the App Store that they collect. So if I build an app that people are willing to pay $10 a month for, Apple gets to take $3, they can shut me off. With Ethereum, there is no shutting off. These are unstoppable applications. So what do you need unstoppable applications for? That's really the primary question you're getting at with Ethereum. And for the same reasons that Bitcoin is having permissionless money that is under your control, that you can do whatever you want with, some of these same principles and properties could make sense for things like digital items, things like financial applications. Like imagine you build like lending software that allows people to have loans, and the loans work based off an algorithm instead of like a human that can, call it or something, for example. Or there's just a bunch of different potential applications. So about a month ago, this thing called the Genius Bill got passed in Congress, and it got signed by Trump. And the idea behind the Genius Act is that stable coins are now legal tender. So a stable coin is, you could think of it as kind of like a dollar, except it has some of the properties of a cryptocurrency. And so what is the point of this? If this is confusing for you, just try and follow along the best you can. I'm trying to explain it as simply as I can. But this is why I want people to get Bitcoin first, because the Ethereum world is very interesting, but a lot more complex than what Bitcoin is once you really grasp Bitcoin. So a stable coin is kind of like the dollar, except it has certain properties that cryptocurrency has. One of them is you can send it and receive it anywhere, nearly instantly, nearly for free. Don't have to worry about like remittances. Imagine you are someone who immigrated from Mexico, and you have family back home, and you want to send them money. Up until cryptocurrency, you might have to use, what's the name of it? Some payment method that United States or Mexico takes like a 10 or 15% fee. So if you got $100 to send back home, your family's only receiving 80. With stable coins, they're going to get $99.99. They're going to get nearly all of it. They're going to get it for free, or nearly for free, and they're going to be able to transact and use that if everyone starts adopting stablecoins. So this is like an update to the financial system. Now, the other thing with stablecoins is, so with the Genius Bill passing, one of the things that they require anyone who issues a stablecoin to do is to back it with real dollars, and those real dollars can be held in what are called treasury bonds, and that earns an interest. And so that money will also go towards paying down and funding the government, like paying down the debt and funding the government. So it's kind of like a win-win. It's a win-win in that the government is able to get some funding and make things cheaper, maybe knock down the debt. And it's also a win for users getting to use a superior version of the dollar that is easier for them to transfer. And there should be wallets that exist where people can custody their dollars and not really have to worry about losing it. It should work better. Now, what does this have to do with Ethereum? This stable coin, most of the stable coins run on Ethereum's network. So this is an app on Ethereum. That's the way to think about it. So what does Ethereum get out of this? Ethereum is like what securitizes it. It's what makes it safe. It's what gives it the principles of cryptocurrency. That makes it not really, it makes it uncensorable. That makes it be able to transfer nearly instantly anywhere around the world for very little. So this is accretive to the value of Ethereum and Ethereum's network value. So long story short, Ethereum stands to benefit from this. And now the other thing that is really interesting, the stock market. So when you buy a stock of a company like Apple, for example, it exists on the New York Stock Exchange. And New York Stock Exchange is open basically from like, you could think of it as like, what is it, 9:30 to 4, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then it turns off. You can't self-custody your Apple stock. You can't really transfer it, outside of anywhere that's like United States jurisdiction. Imagine, again, these similar principles to cryptocurrency with all the stocks that exist. Imagine Apple stock that you could hold on your phone in a self-custody wallet. Imagine Apple stock that can be sent to anyone, anywhere, at any time, with basically very little cost for exchanging it or sending it to anyone. Imagine capital formation for people who live outside of the United States jurisdiction, like someone in Africa who there's nothing they can do to stop, escape inflation. They can now own Apple stock. I mean, they should own Bitcoin, but maybe there's a good reason they want to own Apple stock or a stable coin. So that could all be underpinned again. The entire stock market runs on Ethereum's network. That is why people are all excited. Ethereum is bringing the principles of cryptocurrency to the dollar. It's bringing the principles of cryptocurrency to the stock market. It is enabling a future where financial transactions are becoming faster, cheaper, more efficient, work 24/7. And I haven't figured this one out yet, but in terms of AI using payments and storing value, I can't decide whether they will use Bitcoin, Ethereum, or both. I know they won't use traditional financial rails, because traditional financial rails, like you want to open up a bank account, you need to prove that you're a human. You don't have to prove that you're a human to use Bitcoin or Ethereum. So all these things that would block an AI are perfect for Bitcoin and Ethereum for it to run on. But that's the potential Ethereum has. How big can Ethereum get? How important, how massive will it be? I don't know. I honestly can't tell you what the future of Ethereum will look like. All I know is it seems to enable a superior version of a financial system, just like Bitcoin is enabling a superior money. So to me, I've always liked both of these. And these two things in conjunction, I actually think are synergistic, because when people are now existing on crypto rails, I think they will become, they will work together. A lot of people who use stable coins are more likely to buy Bitcoin, and people who buy Bitcoin are more likely to use stable coins. And in a world where money and financial assets should be able to trade freely, openly, without borders, it's just going to keep accreting value to any type of network that exists that allows these things to happen. So, long story short, Ethereum is a virtual machine, an app store that builds unstoppable apps. The unstoppable apps that exist are the dollar on crypto rails, potentially the stock market on crypto rails, other different types of financial assets. It's possible people's homes exist on the Ethereum network, like the deed to the house. And so it's enabling this better, more efficient financial system. And because of this, its value could go up. It could go up. Of how much? I don't know. I can't tell you. There's like $900 trillion of value that exists in the world. A lot of it is parked in real estate. Some of it is parked in gold. Some of it is parked in all these different businesses. Some of it is parked in military equipment and shit like that. There's a chance Ethereum could take out a big chunk of that. It could be worth, right now all the Ethereum is worth like 500 billion. Could it be 50 trillion? Because that's 100 times more valuable than it is today. I don't know. I don't see how that would be that impossible to think of. I mean, the entire US stock market, I think, is around 60 billion. Or 60 trillion, I'm sorry. But I do find this to be fascinating, interesting, world-changing type of technology that I would say someone should learn about. And something I'm a big fan of is getting to use it personally, buying some, seeing how it works, and then deciding whether or not this is useful or, you know, the things I'm saying are accurate. If you feel that way, I have a link, a referral link from Gemini, which is a very popular United States crypto exchange that's owned by the Winklevoss twins. And they're doing a very special bonus, referral bonus. When you buy $100 of Bitcoin or $100 of Ethereum, you get $75 as a bonus, and I get $75 as a bonus. So if you wanted a way to support me, and if you wanted to buy a little bit to have some skin in the game, this is an awesome way to do it. The bonus, I do know, kicks in after 30 days. So you could buy $100 of Ethereum, then 30 days from now, after you have bought it, you should get credited with another $75 of Ethereum, or you could change the bonus to be Bitcoin. You know, you could buy some Bitcoin and get the Ethereum as the bonus, or vice versa, or, you know, both. But I feel like I just explained this pretty well, as kind of easily as someone can explain Ethereum. It's not very easy to understand. It just takes some time. But again, I think it's enabling a more efficient financial system. And because of that, you know, I think it's going to be worth a lot more in the future.